And welcome, friends and fans of Link to the Past Randomizer. League is live, and I'm so excited to be here. My name is DJ Darkwing D with McMonkey tonight for Game 1 between the new Hyrule Order and Land of the Blind. How you doing, McMonkey?
I am so hyped for the League this year. This is a great match to get started, and I'm excited to see what we got.
I know all these people have been working so hard over the last few months, some of them coming from even the Mentor tournament, and have just been playing their minds out recently, and now throwing it down in the League. New Hyrule Order, SEJay and IrritablePenguin. McMonkey, I know you know them well.
I do. They are my teammates. I am the third of New Hyrule Order. Very excited to see how my teammates are going to come out swinging tonight.
On the other side, Land of the Blind. This is their second year in League. Worldwide Wimpy and Yodonashi going with them tonight. Ben Creighton is their third. And they're in my group as well. I faced those guys week 5.
Yeah, and Ben coming in hot with the raid early in the stream here. I see him in chat. He's here to root on his team.
So we are going in just a second. We should be starting just about any time now.
Yeah, and just in case anybody here is unaware, we have a co-op seed tonight. So all of our runners are playing the same seed, and teammates are allowed to share information with each other. So they'll be splitting up the work of clearing this seed, trying to find progression in the most efficient way possible, and the average time between the two runners on their team will be what determines placing first or second.
Yeah, Yodonashi getting trolled there a little bit by game physics, but typically what you're going to see a lot of the times is what we see here. One person is going to go ahead and start at the Uncle. One person's going to start at the Sanctuary. You're going to see what the tree pool is. You're going to see if you need to go beat Aga. Of course, it is all dungeons, so you have to beat Aga anyways, but it's nice to know if you have to go ahead and get the item off the Lumberjack.
Yeah, it's always nice to leave Aga till the end if you can. It pairs in very nicely after finishing Ganon's Tower, but if there's progression here on Aga, which there's not today, just a big 20, then you want to rub that in.
Though, off the Uncle.
Yeah, Glove's a useful one here. I see SEJay, big proponent of getting the tier 2 or 3 tree pull when going on the Sank start, so he's farming a couple enemies so that he can do the tree pull down here in the Lost Woods and find out what items they've got there, hopefully looking for some bombs.
So it looks like Penguin going straight to the back of Escape. I like this play. You got bombs and the glove out of the front. So let's go ahead and go get that done. I'm not sure where Yodonashi is heading, though.
Looks like he's heading the south route to CAC. He's going to probably farm some bombs south of Grove to make sure that he has bombs to go through and clear Kakariko Village.
And it looks like nothing really in back of Escape. There was the key, so we are going to be having an item in the back of Escape. Or excuse me, in the Dark Cross.
Yeah, and certainly no shame in not trying to do Dark Cross without any type of item to find your position.
No, you've got powder, you've got gloves, you've got 3 bombs. Do not worry about that at all. As we see Penguin going to be going and checking. Sorry, I got distracted real quick by a quick map check, and it looks like we do have 3. Was that 3 crystals I saw?
That's what it looked like to me as well. Yeah. Yeah, so Penguin going over to check Saha's Closet here. I think this is to buy SEJay a little bit of time to check out CAC and allow Penguin to try to clear the village a little more efficiently.
Yeah, I've seen some teams that have been doing this. It leaves more time. It looks like just money and arrows so far. It leaves your partner in Kakariko plenty of time to get everything they can, and then that way you just come in, swoop in from behind, and clean up.
Yeah, and that's really the story of the co-op, right? Is balancing the needs of getting progression efficiently, but also sharing information to avoid opening chests that you don't have to. So we got Penguin buying some bombs here, checking out the Lake Hylia item. Just a junk item. They won't have to worry about getting those.
Yeah, so far not too much really going on. Penguin starting back at the house, either South Shore or Bomb Escape. We'll see which way he goes. Looks like it's going to be Escape, or excuse me, South Shore.
Yeah, without anything exciting in the village so far, there's no reason to rush over there. The blue boomerang is about as exciting as it's gotten here in the village, and as much as I like the blue boomerang, it's not worth an extra trip to CAC for it.
Yeah, this has really been a super surprising nothing Kakariko.
But this is the perfect kind of seed for a co-op, right? I mean, it's so hard to skip checking the village if you're going solo. I mean, I'd say it's impossible. But in this case, you know, the second runners, you know, IrritablePenguin, he's not going to have to go into CAC until he's going to the Village of Outcasts area.
Yeah, pretty much. You know, maybe unless he finds a hammer and wants to go see what's on the bat. Does find a nice 300 rupees though over what is that called? The drowned chest on the spoiler log.
Yeah, the sunken chest there. I think.
We go.
Yeah. And meanwhile, Worldwide Wimpy picking up his glove from Uncle. We'll see where he goes from there.
The way he's coming out, Wimpy might go Escape. As he just leaves. No, turns around. Okay, yeah. I know he's a proponent of Bomb Escape, so.
Yeah, he didn't want to mess up the landscaping. He went around the bushes. I appreciate that. The gardeners put a lot of work into that courtyard.
GG. Penguin actually made it over to Agina. I like this play too.
Yeah, I see a bunch of runners do this. If you're going to pick up the sunken chest item, you might as well go to Agina. You're partway there, and it's paid off big time with those boots.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the easiest checks to do in co-op because you're not going to be really losing much time with how much you're saving with just getting everything together, and it pays off huge there.
Yeah, and so that's great knowledge. SEJay's going to probably beeline there after checking Library and Maze Race, and they'll both be moving fast.
Maze Race was nothing, but there's the hammer. And the Moon Pearl in Bonk Rocks. Wow.
Yeah, so very, very quickly, New Hyrule Order getting their Dark World access. This, you know, the routing worked out pretty well for them. Yeah, so we'll see Penguin go in, grab his hammer, and probably head right into the Dark World.
So far, nothing over in Escape.
Yeah, though that boomerang making bomb escape so much easier with 7 bombs makes it a whole lot safer.
You have the boomerang, either the boomerangs or the hook shot, and bomb escape is nothing. Yeah, this is on. I know it's still really early, but that is just giving them such a huge early advantage. Like, Land of the Blind needs to try to get over there if they can.
Yeah, and Agin is one of those checks that has the potential to be last locationed in early game. You know, if you don't get it after Sunken Treasure and you don't have the flute, it's a long walk over there, and it feels bad to do it sometimes. But you know, when there's something there, it can really give you an edge.
So did get a map check from Penguin. It looks like Pod and TR are 5/6s. Ice Palace, Skull Woods, and I didn't catch what the other one was. Our pendants tonight.
Looks like Swamp Palace is the third.
Fire Rod for Irritable Penguin. They're getting a lot of good checks in quick, and Quake as well. Full heart, 2 full hearts. Is Hype Cave actually hyped tonight?
That is as hype a cave as I've seen in quite some time.
That's a huge place as well. I want to point this out. That's an awesome place to have 2 full hearts like that. Sometimes in co-op, you're not going to get as many full hearts as you would like, because a lot of the times they're going to be in places that are just kind of out of the way that you're not going to check after knowing there's nothing else there. There's a ton there that SEJay needs to get So him being able to get those extra 2 hearts is pretty great.
Yeah, and they're paying off immediately as he took a hit. We can see in Dark World, Green Mail is a scary place, so those 2 hearts are all he has left. He's got to be careful.
Wow.
And meanwhile, he just keeps getting hit in the face with progression, finding a flute on Stumpy. Irritable Penguin seems to be just sniffing out the right places to go.
Penguin is like that sometimes. You know this as well. He has the opportunity to either just randomly find everything, or he's going to last location it.
Meanwhile, Yodonashi making the dip into Eastern without the bow. He's got potentially 3 items here, depending on whether anything is locked behind Armos Knights. Yeah, and Penguin does have a tendency to run hot and cold, and when it's hot, it's pretty hot.
So we did see on the dig game was just 5 rupees, and as well SEJay did give us a check of the magic bat, which was just a couple of sticks. Over here for Worldwide Wimpy, this is a new check because Penguin didn't get over here for this.
No, New High Roller has not checked.
Oh, he wishes he did now.
Yeah,
especially with Blue Mail as well to help him out in the Dark World.
Yeah, so they'll get there at some point relatively quickly. I don't imagine Mini Moldorm's a place where you're going to leave that for too long with 5 items sitting there. But yeah, it sure would come in handy being in the Dark World already.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that's where SEJay's going right now. Yeah, going south to South Shore, he's going to find that mirror, and that is going to be great for him, especially when he grabs that flute.
So not much. I haven't seen anything of note coming out of Eastern Palace on Yodonashi's side, and we're going to get our first check at Ice Rod Cave from Worldwide Wimpy here.
Yeah, I know Yodonashi does have the big key, but I didn't see what the other check was. There's a small heart. It looks like didn't catch what was on it. It's really hard sometimes to catch what 4 different people are doing.
Yeah, there's a lot going on here. So, the big key will give him 1 more in logic check. Without the fire rod or lamp, nothing else in this dungeon is in logic. And we see the second item there, the shield. He's going to go out of logic to check the vanilla big key chest. It could potentially be the 3rd item.
Penguin over in Village of Outcasts. SEJay about to pick up that mirror, so new checks on Penguin's side as well. This is going to be really great. Wimpy is... Oh no, he's doing the dam. Hopefully... Well, Wimpy is already done. I guess he's already done the dam, so yeah. Wimpy's going to go get those boots, and they're going to get that Dark World access now.
Yeah, and that'll give him the opportunity to start catching up. Meanwhile, no Ice Rod hunt today. Penguin finding that in the brewery and heading right into Thieves Town.
That's always nice to find, little bombos. Really nice to have that, especially on those early ice palace trips. Don't want to use up all that magic.
Yeah, absolutely. With a single magic bar, Bombos is very valuable for Ice Palace, particularly if the seed is going to be stingy about giving out swords, as it appears to be so far.
It looks like Yodonashi was a little bit low on hearts, so didn't go for the skip right there. You cannot blame them at all for that. This is a terrible place to die at.
Yeah, it's gonna be challenging here. I don't know that he can actually. I mean, he can kill the Stalfos with a boomerang. He can kill.
Well, now that he has the extra heart, you can just walk. Well, at the time, could have walked right into that. So they're gonna have to orphan that check. It looks like.
Yeah. They had a moment where they could have done the anti-fairy skip. Might have been able to kill all the enemies with the judicious use of the bombs and the boomerang and the pots, but not going to get it done.
So he's going to go back and check that. We do have Penguin in the back of Thieves Town and SEJay farming up money to pick up Zora area.
Yeah, interesting decision here to go after the flipper checks. I mean, I guess it's giving Penguin time to check out the Village of Outcasts area, see if anything's there. And you got pretty close to the money anyway.
Yeah, Penguin looks like he's going to be heading up, or excuse me, not Penguin, Wimpy looks like they're going to go do not the magic bat just yet. Looks like they're actually going for Bonk Rock, so he'll get that magic, the Moon Pearl, that is. Hopefully get them into the Dark World soon.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see whether Yodonashi just quits right out of Eastern. I mean, he's going back for another chance at this vanilla big key chest, but as soon as they find out that they have Dark World access, he may feel better about orphaning this check.
So SEJay hitting up Hype Cave, that'll give him a little bit of protection. Where do you think SEJay goes after this?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see him head over to Pod. There's a lot of items in Pod. Maybe Bowlock, so you know, there's potentially only a single item, but he could still continue on to Pyramid and Catfish from there.
Ooh, Yodonashi not rewarded there. Picks up the map, so the last item in Eastern is going to be on the Armos Knights.
Yeah, so unfortunately, you know, the vanilla big key chest is already a time sink. Doing it twice feels twice as bad. Penguin picking up a mail upgrade. That feels nice. Approaching a swordless blind.
Yeah, that is super nice to get right there. They do have a green potion, but not going to help them too much there. But I mean, what they got, 7, 8 hearts, blue mail. That's not too bad for Hammer Blind. I think Penguin knows what he's doing there. As Wimpy picks up everything over in the Hype Cave area as well. So, and I like this. He's going straight for that flute spot. Yodonashi got the boots as well, so he's looking pretty good there. Saving quitting. Actually, I thought they were going to go over and grab everything out of Light World Hype Cave. As we see Penguin.
Mini Moldorm hype.
What was that? I'm sorry?
Is it Mini Moldorm hype?
Yes, the true Hype Cave. Penguin getting bullied a little bit. He's got 2 hits left. 1 hit. Oh, can he get it? No, takes a death. That's rough.
Yeah, that's not an easy fight. So we see SEJay picked up a bottle and headed right to Sick Kid to turn that in before activating the flute. Nothing much on Sick Kid, just a piece of heart.
Penguin decides not to stay. There is still, I believe, 1 more item on Blind, but I don't think it's worth it right now. I'll always just come back for that in a bit. Now, that could come back to bite you, but I think this is a decent play. We might see Penguin go... Oh, and Penguin haven't activated the flute yet. Never mind. Probably see one of them, though, at least head over and do... what is it? Skullwoods. Thank you. Sorry.
Yeah, that'd be a good play. We see SEJay heading up the mountain now with the flute and the mirror. We have full access to the Light World side of the mountain and Hera.
He hasn't gotten everything from Mini Moldorm just yet. Yeah, it's like they're pointing out in chat. It looks like Yodo is having some auto tracker issues at the moment. That's why it keeps flashing on his screen with that the red wording.
Yeah, it's pretty common. I'm seeing chat mentioning that SEJay skipped the old man. That's pretty typical of, you know, without the lamp. SEJay will often skip old man, particularly when he has flute. It's a very easy check to come back to, and will be much easier even with just a sword. Right now, you know, boomerang trying to find your way through the dark can be a little tricky, and any item he gets there would be out of logic anyway.
want a cup of coffee?
That sounds excellent. Although this time of night, I might have to spike it.
Fair enough. Well, it looks like we're gonna have time for one as we're setting up for the coffee break room. Big chest. Excuse me. It is a vanilla big key chest. Unfortunately, CJ gets hit. Doesn't get his coffee break. Gonna have to do a little bit of dodging.
Yeah, gets sent to jail instead. And without a sword, the dodging is not going to be easy, and he takes a death. He'll get another chance at that coffee break.
Looks like we're gonna get a few more checks from Penguin. I don't remember CJ coming over here and doing this part. CJ was farming up to go ahead and do the water checks, but they found the boots and said, "Screw it, let's just leave."
Yeah, so we'll see Penguin now. I assume we'll see him clear up all of the flipper checks. Oh, Leore pointing out, yep, CJ died in Ice Rod Cave, falling off the edge, trying to set up the Waterwalk state.
Gotcha, thank you. I did not catch that. It is. I have a hard enough time paying attention to two people calming.
Well, that's where chat is very helpful, and we appreciate you as always.
Especially you, Leo. Does make it through this time. We'll grab that key and get on out. Let's see what these flippers checks are.
Oh, Penguin swimming up a little too high and getting scolded by the waterfall fairy.
Yodo coming back. I thought Yodo had already... Oh, there's a bow. That is super nice, especially if there's something on the ledge here. You can just splash delete and grab it.
Yeah, and that opens up... I mean, we've already seen what's in Eastern Palace. They haven't taken the dip in there, but Eastern and Pod are now full clearable. With that fire rod, they're not going to be afraid. And there are the mitts on the ledge. Yeah, this is working out quite nicely. The death on blind doesn't feel good, but all this other progression they're finding is going to make up for it. Penguin getting a little scared of his waterwalk state. I think he saw the mitts and decided he didn't want to risk getting hit there. Although, having taken away the waterwalk state, it might be a little harder to get the fake flipper here at the top of Zora's waterfall. We'll see.
So the last item is going to be on our good friend Troll Dorm. See if Penguin gets it first try. There's one, and there's two. Great job by Penguin getting that.
Very nicely done. That's not as easy as he made it look. And he is well rewarded for his tech knowledge, picking up the mitts there. That's going to open up quite a few new checks for them. And I imagine we'll first see him run right to King's Tomb with those mitts. Meanwhile, CJ taking down Troll Dorm, getting our first crystal of the match in hand. And we've got Worldwide Wimpy making their way through Thieves Town. Yodonashi is playing catch up a little bit, picking up the items that were left behind along his routing. Yeah, our runners are... I imagine we're avoiding Skullwoods at this point without a sword. Skullwoods is not clearable. They do have the fire rod. They know that as soon as they get a sword, they'll be able to full clear. So I have to imagine for all four runners, that's part of the conversation here, is find the sword so that they can clear Skullwoods. There's no reason to dip into there until then.
And they got a quick check there. It is Ether to get into Mire.
And on cue, the sword appears in Spiral Cave. So CJ is now a little more deadly than he was a few moments ago. Not not exactly sure where Yodonashi is headed at this point. This is not an area of the map you usually see much in rando. But we got Penguin checking out Desert Ledge, just a couple of bombs there.
And Yodonashi is going to grab the Moon Pearl here. So far up for SEJay, a couple of heart pieces, a full heart, and a book.
Yeah, book feels a little bad after just having left Hair area and then jumping down into Paradox Cave, but not worth it apparently to go back up and check Ether Tablet. Since he only has the fighter sword, he wouldn't be able to get the item anyway, so not worth taking the time at this point.
One thing that's actually kind of nice about that, though, is so IrritablePenguin is inside Desert here, out of logic, because he did sequence break to grab the mitts. So if he does manage to find anything, that kind of gives him a little bit of extra information with the logic of the seed, since SEJay did find that book.
Yeah, and since these runners, they're going to need to keep track of that logic so that they can track down those flippers. This being in all dungeons, they'll definitely need the flippers for Swamp Palace. And given that the mitts were on the ledge, that's an item that you usually get relatively early in the seed, so they've got to be starting to nail down, a short list of locations where those flippers could be. And our helpful chat Leoria is also pointing out that with the book,
he's close, close, and there he goes. Sorry to cut you in.
No, that's more than okay. Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's a tough ask. Hammer blind with so few hearts. It's a tough fight, and we've seen two of our runners go down to it. Not all that surprising.
SEJay makes that look so much easier because he was still in the water walk state. So you only have to worry about one of the jumps there. Gives you about an extra, I don't know, half second to a second of time for you to jump in and not get kicked out.
Yeah, as usual, SEJay cheating and taking the easy way out.
Up top, Warlord Wimpy is going at it once again. Got 4 hearts, does have red mail. He's got a little bit of protection. Of course, you'd have the same protection with blue mail, but got 5 hits to go, playing it a little safe.
Yeah, I like the determination going right back in there. With a hammer, it's not really all that much more difficult off script. There is not really a hammer script for blind, so normally you might wait if you had a sword once you're off script, but you like to see him get after it.
He's got one more hit and goes down. So lots of new checks as well, though, on SEJay and Penguin side. Penguin just finishing out Desert here in just a minute, and SEJay just popping into Pod.
Yeah, IrritablePenguin trying to finish off Lanmos with the hammer here.
Which can be kind of annoying.
But he gets it done and is rewarded with the flippers. So now all of his items are back in logic. Meanwhile, Worldwide Wimpy, take 3 on blind, going at it, being extra careful here. He gets through phase 1 unscathed. See how he does in phases 2 and 3.
I want to see something big drop here now. Like, he's put the time in. Let's see what's here.
Yeah, you really want to see him rewarded for this kind of effort.
One more shot. He's got 2 hearts. Dodging left and right. 1 heart left. There's the 1 hit. No, 1. Oh my god. There it is.
Oh my goodness.
Let's see what it is. Full heart. Is this even vanilla? Randomized.
Wow.
I screwed that up.
It was a heck of a fight, though. I mean, that.
Oh yeah.
I really appreciate that. you know, on try number 3, down to a half a heart, the drama involved with that was just spectacular. A really good job by Wimpy to get that fight done.
Yeah, if that had been something though, like Hookshot or Samaria, maybe that Ether medallion that we need for Meyer, that would have been pretty great.
Yeah, it would. It would have done. It would have caught Land of the Blind up a little bit. No, New Hyrule Order has got a little bit of a lead here from the early Dark World access. It might have helped to start to close that gap.
Yeah, Penguin going to grab that sword now. And Yodonashi over in the dark.
Yeah, I assume this is. I didn't catch it, but I assume he's saving the old man here. And we got new checks from Worldwide Wimpy. He's decided to dive the front of Skullwoods. We'll see what we get here.
See, I'm a fan of doing this. I like knowing early that either this is the play, and I can send my opponent here as soon as we can, or you know, there's nothing here. Maybe, you know, now you can just save it till the very end. But to me, it's more. This front of Skullwoods feels more like you know, just an extension of Dark World Overworld checks.
Yeah, it seems to be coming more into the meta, treating Skullwoods like the front of Skullwoods like an overworld check.
Big key down in the basement. The one thing that I didn't catch is I didn't see where SEJay picked up the lamp.
It must have been here in Pod because he didn't have it coming in, which then puts all of Pod in logic.
Oh, no, it's right there. Penguin just picked it up.
Oh, look at that. It was in the bottom of Paradox. Yep, so now, you know, they had a full clearable Pod. Some of it would have been out of logic, but now it is fully within logic. They are free to clear Pod and Eastern and move right on.
Since he has the mitts, has the opportunity to go check out a couple of other things. Going to get Super Bunny, you can get the bonk chest, and you can go ahead and see what is needed for. It doesn't really matter because you know you need Ether, and you already have the other two.
Yeah, it matters a little less. Although if Ether ends up being, say, in Turtle Rock, you know, it's nice to know whether you can get into Turtle Rock once you have access. Meanwhile, Yodonashi heading into Hera. He'll get his coffee break in a few moments here. Oh, and look at that. Yodonashi picking up the cane from the out of logic old man. Yeah, so that's a big find for Yodonashi, picking up that red cane. That's going to make Ice Palace a whole lot easier. That obviously potentially puts Turtle Rock straight into logic as soon as they pick up their mitts. You know, if Penguin had checked Old Man, it's possible he could be going right into Turtle Rock right now, but without it, you know, he's going to be stuck.
Yeah, and that's really something that's probably going to take you a minute to get back to. Yodonashi does take a death. Ouch. That is something, though, that might take you a minute to get back to. There's a lot of other stuff you can do. You'd kind of have to go a little bit out of the way to grab the old man. Now, it's easy to flute back, but you're probably not going to want to do that for only just one check. Now, maybe when SEJay comes back up for other things, such as Super Bunny, you know, maybe we'll see something here in the bonk chest. Might be a minute before they pick that up.
Yeah, although if they're following the logic trail, having picked up the lamp, they're going to clear Eastern, they're going to clear Pod. We know that Eastern has one item on Armos. If there's no progression here, they may start thinking, well, what is this lamp supposed to get us? And there's a short list of places left on their list that the lamp would unlock for them, and Old Man is one of them. So that logic chain might lead them down the right trail.
Yodonashi does take another death. Looks like just rupees on the ether tablet. And SEJay getting some good luck right there with a non-moving Trinex when you're trying to shoot it with arrows.
Yeah, the basement of Hera proving to be formidable today. taking down both SEJay and Yodonashi.
Penguin is going to go ahead and give us Spike Cave as well. I mean, you've got, I think he has a blue goo. Plus, he's going to have plenty of hearts. I don't think he's going to have to worry about that. Gets a shovel.
Gets himself a fetch quest.
And Wimpy going for the kern jump.
Yeah, an interesting bit of tech here. A little tricky. This one is one of those tricks where there's not really a super reliable way to get the timing of it. You got to just get a feel for when the bomb is going to blow up and throw it and jump at the right time. There's also a vertical component here, and he is wiggling around a little bit. It's fairly precise north to south on the positioning, so I'm not sure that he's lined up in the right spot there. It looks just a hair too low from my perspective.
So I've been trying to learn this, so I've been trying to keep an eye on it and stuff like that. Anyways, when you come around the corner, you drop the bomb, but what you have to do is actually move up just a hair right there, right as you get towards the grass. And that puts you in the right position to get knocked down.
Meanwhile,
so doing it right, except for that small little movement to go up.
Yeah, and meanwhile, we missed SEJay picking up the hook shot in pod, which will now open up Swamp Palace and potentially push the cane even further down their list of locations that they're going to check.
Yeah, I totally missed that one. And yeah, like Vortex is saying as well, you don't have to throw the bomb. You literally just have to jump off.
Yeah, so a bit of good news, bad news for New Hyrule Order with that hook shot. The good news is it's another piece of progression that they absolutely will need, that they have in hand now, but is going to potentially delay getting that Cane of Samaria. They may end up diving into Ice Palace without the cane.
Yeah, Chloe, it is just as soon as we find Ether and another sword, we are in no mode. We know where Samaria is, and we know where Hookshot is. So each team really has just that on their opponent. One of them knows where Samaria is. One of them knows where the Hookshot is. And just the way this is going, it looks like Land of the Blind will probably get the Hookshot before New Hyrule Order does get that Samaria. But things could change. We'll see.
So we're getting our first look at the back of Skull Woods and the item on Armos Knights. I did not track how many items they found in the front of Skull Woods when Wimpy was in there earlier.
And Pet is dead.
Oh, and the third item must have been in Cannonball Chest, so there was no item on Armos Knights. That was a compass. So just a crystal, but a very important crystal. And Penguin is about to face another very not easy boss fight here. Mothula on Fighter Sword is no joke. Even with that hammer, the hammer will help a little bit, but single magic. He does have a blue goo in his pocket. That'll help give him some fire rod shots, but this is not going to be a simple boss fight.
No, thankfully though, lots of 10 hearts plus red mail. As long as you can do your best to avoid spikes, it's just be careful, take it slow, take it easy, and you'll get through pretty fine.
Meanwhile,
Yodonashi is just going to be absolutely terrible, and you're screwed either way. We've all been there.
Yeah, and Yodonashi getting bumped down by Trolldorm. Never a good time going up and facing Trolldorm.
And Penguin he took a half-hearted damage.
Yeah, making me look like a fool calling it a tough fight. He just roasted the moth.
Yoda keeps it in. So I missed 1 or 2 chests. Do we have an item? We do not have an item left in there. Never mind. Oh, possibly. I was going to say, I think we only got a full heart in there, and this might be the last one, but it's been a minute since we've seen Wimpy up here.
Yeah, as we said, tracking 4 streams at the same time is hard enough, and then remembering what happened minutes ago in those 4 streams is even harder. But Penguin picking up the big key, he'll go check the big chest to get the last item in Skullwoods.
So they're going to get this here in just a minute, but something that Land of the Blind actually doesn't know yet is where that first sword is. They have not been over to Spiral Cave yet.
Yeah, that's right. I imagine Yoda is going to head over there right now after finishing here. They'll find that sword pretty quickly.
Oh, Penguin, actually, they have not done the... we're missing things left and right here. They have not done the water checks yet. So what I was saying a little bit ago about, they'll probably find the hook shot and be in better shape before Hyrule Order finds the Samaria. They still got a couple of other things they got to do. So this is still a pretty big lead for New Hyrule Order.
Yeah, and if they're not willing to go out of logic, I mean, they don't even have the bow at this point, so they're going into pod without the bow. They're going to have to double dip. They've already committed to a double dip of Eastern. Now, Wimpy is double dipping pod. Eventually, they'll get over to Desert and find those flippers, and that'll lead them towards the flipper checks. I don't love the play going out of logic into pod here, knowing that you've got to have some progression in a short list of locations. There's not a whole lot of places that the mitts or the flippers or some other progression could be at this point, so going out of logic is just delaying getting that progression.
Now, Yodonashi, though, is going to get the book over here in just a second, and that might actually push him over towards the desert area. And getting that lamp, too, so now his Samaria is back in logic.
Yeah, we see. Go right ahead.
I think we're about to say the same thing. SEJay looking like he's going over into Swamp now.
Yeah, and I'll be interested to see where Penguin heads next. Perhaps going for a rematch with Blind.
You've got the sword now. I think it's a good play.
Sword and cape, makes that a whole lot easier.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think this is a good downtime for Penguin. You don't want both people to be in the same dungeon at the same time. Now, he'll probably do this and then maybe head on over and do pod, so he can grab his hook shot. But I think this is probably a decent time to go and just finish this out. Not going to take a whole lot of time. And if SEJay finds anything important, it'll really help their routing decision.
Yeah, and this is what we talked about earlier with the balance of a co-op, where you've got to balance catching up on finishing dungeons while also searching for progression. So this makes a lot of sense. Take a breather here, get your rematch with Blind. I'll see if there's anything in Swamp Palace, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, that was something that my team had a little bit of trouble with when we first started practicing. It was just check, and not all of a sudden one of us is finishing 10 minutes behind the other because we had 5 dungeons to get when we hit no mode.
Yeah, and it's a constant balancing act. It takes quite a bit of planning to try to both finish near each other, ideally.
Yeah, so Yodonashi did end up going on over into Desert, which is the best thing that could happen for them right now. They're going to get the flippers. They're going to know, let's go do flippers checks. Get that bow, and the mitts were over there as well. So that's going to be really nice for them.
Yeah, it'll be a relief for them, I think, to see the flippers, see the mitts. Things will open up. I'm sure they'll feel a little behind, but it'll be a weight off their shoulders to know that they're back on track.
Penguin actually going over to ice now.
Yeah, not a whole lot of other options. Certainly not a lot of options that have multiple checks in them. You got to finish ice. The Ice Palace bomb jump is not all that scary to these runners. So he'll go in and
but it's
see
still
if there's. It's not fun, but yeah, they'll make it happen. But going into Ice Palace without the cane is going to cost them an extra couple minutes over Land of the Blind when they get over to Ice Palace. And the way the seed is breaking, it's possible that Land of the Blind will be able to fully go mode Ice Palace with the cane.
Really great bomb strat there by Penguin. That can be a little tricky on the timing to grab. Just getting these left side swamp checks, a couple of bombs, and a piece of heart.
Left side swamp being one of those locations that no matter what you choose, you lose. If you decide to check it, it's going to be nothing. If you don't decide to check it, there's a good chance you're going to have something you need over there.
I've been burned one too many times by left side swamp. It's one of those things where I just do it.
So even with the left side check, SEJay flying through Swamp Palace here, heading right to the back. We'll see another diver down coming up here.
And Yodonashi using a room we don't see a whole lot, grabbing himself a fairy.
Yeah, handy little refill room. Not often needed, but nice to know it's there. I'm not sure I could have told you what was in that room 5 minutes ago.
Me neither, but I hope I sounded like I knew what it was.
You did. You sounded very confident about that.
Good try. So far, I don't believe we've really seen anything in Swamp.
Nothing that I've seen. So, what do we need to see here for Land of the Blind to be able to make up the gap?
Really, I think it's they're gonna see these flippers here. It's gonna lead them to a sword. It's gonna lead them to the mitts. They're gonna be able to do mountain checks, extra mountain checks that they're gonna be able to get into. They're probably not going to go there, but TR sounds like it has something right now. I wouldn't be surprised if Ether was in TR.
Yeah, so it's sounding like, if Ether's in TR, that's the best case scenario right now for Land of the Blind.
Yeah, really, other than that, we need another sword. That's it. Yeah, so far this seed is a little stingy when it comes to swords and stuff, so hopefully we'll see something here in just a minute. Just $100 off Argus, but we haven't seen the big chest yet. I wonder if SEJay comes back in for that.
Yeah, if he's clearing left side, I have to imagine he's going to go back in and check the big chest. You don't check left side and then leave the big chest behind.
No. And there he goes.
Clearly, no teammate of mine in their right mind would leave behind the big chest after checking left side.
Some discussions in SEJay's Discord tonight.
Yeah.
I did get to see what Bombos is, and it's rupees.
Wimpy making his way very quickly up to Moldorm with that nicely done Harapot, and then Moldorm saying, nope, it's not time yet. Get back down. Try again.
Have New Hyrule Order not done Escape yet? Or is this Dark Cross? I guess they haven't done
it's
Escape,
both.
but there is an item in Dark Cross.
Meanwhile, IrritablePenguin falling into Cold Stare here. A fighter sword Cold Stare fight. Equally as difficult as the Moth fight.
Thankfully, have Red Mail, have a hammer, have Fire Rod, have a goo. Getting a lot of good shots off there. And just not even going to risk it, just throwing Fire Rod shots. One more, I think, and that's done.
Yeah, really not messing around. That blue goo came out real quick. And rewarded with the silver arrows, which is nice. Not what they were looking for, though. Not what they were hoping for to come off a Cold Stare.
Is the green pendant too? That's a pretty quick check to do.
Yeah, New Hyrule Order running out of checks here. So we've got green pendant, we've got Front of Escape, Dark Cross, Old Man, Smith Chain, and that's starting to look like it.
Yeah, Penguin now going to get his checks on. I shouldn't say checks, but get the clearing out pod and in Eastern.
Yeah, this makes a lot of sense. If you're going to turn in that green pendant anyway, there's no reason not to finish these two dungeons.
Yeah, it's right there along the way, so it's perfect. So you can pull out the mirror. I'm not going for it just yet. Oh, and takes a hit.
No, he doesn't have enough money.
Oh, is that what? Oh my god!
You got to pay the monkey his money. He's my cousin. He's a stickler for people paying their bills on time, and your little penguin just does not have enough.
Hey, even monkey's got a mortgage
and a family to feed.
You know how many bananas a teenager can eat?
Yeah, and don't even get me started on the Dark World economy these days.
Yodonashi did get flippers, and it looks like immediately going for those flippers check. This is going to be really great for them right now.
Yeah, and their entire map tracker is going to open right up. We get our first look at Dark Cross, Worldwide Wimpy picking that up. It's just a blue cane, so nothing of note there. So yeah, I mean, this is going to be a bit of overload for Land of the Blind here. As soon as they get those mitts, they get the relief of knowing that they've found the progression they need, but they're going to have a whole lot of choices of where to go next. And I'm just noticing now that our tracker is not marking any items for TR. Did we not get the Dark Death Mountain check from Penguin when he was up there?
I want to say that he looked, but I cannot say 100% for sure. No, we're getting word from chat that no, he did not go and check. Oh no, never mind. I was gonna say it's not that big of a deal, but because you have to get the last pendant anyways. But at the same time, if you know that you can get in there and it might have what you need, that's good. But at the same time, also, they don't have Samaria.
Yeah, so really just Super Bunny and getting the knowledge of what opens Turtle Rock was all that's available there. I guess it's debatable whether it was worth taking the time to get that knowledge.
Yeah, they've got the knowledge of those flippers now, though, and it looks like that's immediately where Wimpy's going. And Yodonashi's is just about to see that there's the mitts here as well. Penguin here is going to be turning in the... Oh, and there's another sword. That's big.
Yeah, so now we're in Ether for Go mode, or for No mode on stream. New High World Order still needs to track down that Samaria.
I honestly wouldn't be surprised if that's the next thing that SEJay does, is just go kill Cold Stare. Having that sword going through the rest of the seed is going to be pretty nice.
Yeah, it's a big jump both from Fighter Sword to Master Sword and from Master Sword to Tempered if they happen to find another one.
So really, I mean, there isn't a lot left to check. There is Hookshot Cave. Of course, Land of the Blind is going to be able to get into TR here soon. So I'm really thinking it's got to be either Hookshot Cave or inside TR.
Yeah, Dark Death Mountain seems like the answer for Ether, which, means another mountain trip. I know that they're probably hoping to put off the mountain and only have one more trip each, but it's not looking like the seed wants that more than. SEJay getting a little scared there on the blind fight, taking out the Cane of Burna just in case. Seen him do that a few times lately. Just trying to meme it up a little bit with the Cane of Burna.
And really, if Ether isn't in TR or Hookshot Cave, there's still the possibility that it is inside the Pyramid Fairy, because I think that's really all we have left.
Yeah, which essentially translates to being in TR, at that point.
Fair enough.
We're going to see our Smith chain here.
Oh yeah, I hadn't thought about that. That's something we haven't seen yet.
Yeah, so we'll get 3 checks here between the Smith, hammer pegs, and the purple chest. We've already had a ped check. Ether is not on ped.
No, ped is just in cash.
So we got Worldwide Wimpy using the Fire Rod to try to take down Landmo. Landmo is doing his best to dodge. Let's see what Wimpy does for a backup strat here.
NMG. Just without the arrows, because, well, that sucks. I've tried getting into NMG and doing it with Fighter Sword regular arrows. A giant pain. Of course, yeah, it does have the hammer right there, too.
Yeah, Landmo, for sure, the worst boss in the NMG run. Math Girl coming out with the fact saying that Ice Rod was the intended strat in vanilla, with Saha telling you where to find the Ice Rod. That would have been very smart if I had ever figured that out, either as a kid or as an adult.
Did not see what was on the purple chest there, but it looks like it wasn't anything. And SEJay gonna head straight to Swamp. No, SEJay's already done.
SEJay's already finished Swamp. Maybe he's going back in for that big chest in Swamp.
Oh yeah, big chest. I'm not sure where SEJay's going right now. Catfish.
Oh yeah, that very well may be. That is a check that they have orphaned. Worldwide Wimpy, looks like he having gotten the news of where the mitts are, he may have marked it on his tracker that he tried to go into Ice Palace there. Hasn't picked up the mitts yet, so he'll have to actually go pick those up before he can get into Ice Palace. It's a long way to Catfish.
That green one too. Because free blue pots are always nice.
That is very nice.
And do it again as well, because I think he had a red pot too.
I certainly would never say no to a free blue goo. IrritablePenguin taking down Helmasaur, going to pick up his first red crystal here and a piece of art.
$20 on the Catfish.
And it looks like SEJay is going to head over to Ice Palace now to eventually lead him to his second sword.
Yeah, they at least have that knowledge. So this is a really great opportunity for him to go in there. Penguin now going to go get the silvers, I guess, out of Swamp.
He already got the silvers were on Cold Stare, but he does still need to finish up Swamp Palace.
Yeah, no, you're right. They were on Cold Stare. So man, silvers and another sword on Cold Stare. That's always nice.
Yeah, uncommonly friendly from Cold Stare.
As we hit the 1 hour mark, we do want to thank everyone for being here. Today is the first day of League Season 3. This is the Open Division with new Hyrule orders. SEJay and IrritablePenguin taking on Land of the Blind, Worldwide Wimpy, and Yodonashi. I do want to thank all the crew today here. I'm Common. My name is DJ DarkMD with McMonkey, our restreamer Math Girl, as well as our two trackers, Bandman and Dark Diplomat.
Yes, big thank you to the whole crew for getting this put together. Meanwhile, Yodonashi taking an unfortunate death to Blind. Blind is taking names today, taking down nearly all of our runners at least once so far. He's going to go back in for a rematch. We've got Worldwide Wimpy clearing out Palace of Darkness here on his way to a Helmasaur fight. Everybody really retracing each other's steps at this point. These teams are playing catch up with each other, clearing dungeons that their teammates have already cleared.
I wonder now, though, if Wimpy, what Wimpy's next play is going to be. Oh, probably Ice. It still has to do as well Eastern, and possibly then Yodonashi going and getting their hook shot.
Yeah, so despite New Hyrule Order orphaning that old man check, it's still a pretty wide lead. There's quite a few dungeons that Land of the Blind have to catch up on here.
Yodonashi is getting really close, and there clutches it out. That was ooh.
Yeah, Land of the Blind putting on some heart attack boss fights here. Another half heart left at the end of a boss fight. Great concentration to finish that out, though. Half a heart, a few dodges there, getting the last hit. Meanwhile, SEJay taking down Cold Stare pretty quickly, gets his silver arrows and his green pendant.
Yeah, Yodonashi's chance now is doing the Smith chain. Not a bad idea. We know there's nothing here, but probably the best time to do it is now.
Yeah, particularly if you're feeling behind. You know, it's something that, you know, a lot of runners are going to leave till last, you know, most teams are going to are hoping to never have to do Smith Chain. So at this point, if you're feeling behind, diving on Smith Chain earlier on once you get the mitts is a pretty good gamble to try to make up some ground. We know it's not going to pay off, but the logic is sound there.
There's always, though, just something nice about knowing. You get that knowledge that, okay, this isn't it. We aren't doing too bad. Because, I mean, look at it this right now. Silvers and a sword is what separates the teams right now. Yodonashi doesn't have the hook shot yet, but I'm sure they're not too far off from going there.
Yeah, they at least have the knowledge of where it is. Yeah, so the team's not too far off in terms of item location knowledge. It's really just the dungeon completion that Land of the Blind is lagging on, which that can turn around fairly quickly. And Penguin doing quite a nice Argus fight there. Fighter sword, the double puff strat, that was very smooth looking.
No, Penguin does have the Master Sword.
Master Sword. Still same idea. Double puff.
Sure.
You gotta hold the sword out, charge it up, pull 2 puffs, spin them. Not a simple series of inputs.
No, I always suck with it, so I just slash. SEJay's turn for the Mothula fight. Has a better sword this time. Penguin about to... Okay, this is the play for New Hyrule Order. We were wondering when they were going to come back for this. This is going to get him the Cane of Samaria. He was probably coming back just to do Hookshot Cave. So this is the perfect opportunity. Gonna get the Cane of Samaria, do Hookshot Cave, get your butt inside TR if it's not Ether, and get going.
Yeah, and so obviously they didn't forget about Old Man. They just left it for last. They'll get their cane, be back on track. We know at this point Ether's certainly got to be here on Dark Death Mountain or in Pyramid Ferry.
Honestly, I don't think it can be in Pyramid Ferry. Really, we just have Hookshot Cave and TR left. I mean, is there anything that we're forgetting about? Which is, I mean, I know for me it's pretty likely.
Yeah, I think Ether could still be in any of the Dark Death Mountain locations or Pyramid Ferry after TR. Pyramid Ferry would being the worst of the possible location because it means that they're basically full clearing the game. But let's be honest, it's if there's an option of it being in TR, it's going to be on Laser Bridge. Yeah, and so with that last item coming up, that will leave Penguin with just 3 dungeons to complete, plus the GT Aga Tower combo. SEJay even further ahead. He's only got TR and Meyer, so he's just following Penguin right up here, knowing that the item they need had to have been up here. They know that their last piece of progression has got to be somewhere up here on Dark Death Mountain. But meanwhile, on Land of the Blind side, we've got 5 more dungeons for Worldwide Wimpy to clear, and 6 dungeons for Yodonashi to complete at this point.
So here is the Hookshot Cave play. One more check. Another sword.
Which feels real nice right before heading into TR.
Oh yes, 100%. I mean, you don't have to worry about doing hammer Trinex, which really isn't that tough. Sometimes it can be a little screwy, but not the worst in the world.
Yeah, and I don't remember seeing either of New Hyrule Order going to refill their bottles. So, Hammer Trinax is not all that scary, but when you're in a race and you've only got single magic, you know, things can get dicey. Yeah, and I'm surprised to see Land of the Blind doing overworld checks here. They're one item from go mode, right? They need ether and only ether at this point. Silvers will be nice. Getting that tempered sword will be nice, but neither of those are required for them to beat the seed. So they've got they've got all of the dungeons except for Meyer and TR. I'm sorry, they've got all of the dungeons except for Meyer available to them. And you know, if they're wanting to make up time, you know, they've got to hope that the items are in the dungeons and avoid the overworld checks.
Well, I don't think Wimpy's actually going to attempt to put it in right now. I think he thought that he had ether or it was something else. You know, I was wondering if they had actually seen that yet. Well, yeah. Well, no, they actually, I don't think they knew that yet because when they came through here, they had to come through the light world, so they didn't have that knowledge that it was ether.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Yeah, so that was Wimpy actually going in, trying to do Meyer, not knowing that he couldn't get in. That is just my speculation, though. We might actually see Wimpy go ahead and jump into TR, going up here for those checks. Gonna get another sword, which is nice as well.
Yeah, a little easier second sword to get than the green pendant off of Cold Stare.
Yeah, I mean, Penguin turned that one in because he had done. He was already going over into that area to do to do Eastern and all that. That's a sword that I don't think Land of the Blind would end up getting.
Yeah, that's a good point. So they may end up
half magic. Half magic in the lava chest.
Oh, that's another very nice find early in TR here. Yeah, so even with the gap, you know, being a sword behind is going to push them even further behind for like the GT climb for Turtle Rock.
So somebody in chat earlier, I can't remember who it was, said that they thought Ether was going to be in Mimic Cave. I want to see if they were right. Very nice swag spin by SEJay. Stood on the bumpers there, did the spin, got the key, and it actually re-raised the bumpers there, and just let him run away.
Yeah,
That's nice.
The rare triple crystal switch hit. Drum roll. No ether in Mimic Cave.
Not today. Wimpy, though, does grab another sword.
Well, Yodonashi fighting Armos Knights got a little off script with the fight here. Should be relatively easy to clean up, though.
Yeah, sometimes if you can be just a half a second late on getting that first shot off for the quick kill, and it just throws everything off.
And Penguin and SEJay actually leapfrogging each other here, with Penguin checking Mimic Cave and the big chest, and SEJay just skipping both of those and hopping right down into the basement here.
I think it's a good call. You're close enough that if it is one of those, you can just turn around, and if it's not, well, you saved a little time. Check 1 is a key. Check 2 is the map. a piece of heart, and $20. So our looks like our progression is Trinex or the Pyramid Fairy.
Yeah, that's it. That's the list.
Wimpy is coming in here as well, like we thought he would. This is definitely a good play. You're here. You've got everything you need. He's gonna find what he needs here, even if it's not on Trinex. He's gonna find what he needs here. Just won't know it just yet.
Yeah, and at least they'll have the information knowing that they can't avoid the extra mountain trip for Yodonashi.
Here we go. Let's see it. $300. It's the Pyramid Fairy.
And we'll see if SEJay remembers that he can refill his bottles at the Pyramid Fairy. This has been an issue in some of the co-op practices where SEJay forgets to get his free refill at the various ferries.
Yeah, he's not very good, is he?
He has his days.
I say that, but the guy is like 10 times better than I am. No, SEJay's a guy that I like to talk to the game with, talk about the game with. Dude is just has so much knowledge about the game and loves to spread that knowledge.
Absolutely. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Penguin go over, take care of Hera now, buy a little bit of time for SEJay to go and scout out the way through Mire for him, since SEJay's got a bit of a lead on dungeons. And Land of the Blind is just in dungeon clearing mode at this point. You know, they've got to be clearing these dungeons. They'll, hopefully go check Pyramid Fairy shortly after the TR play from Worldwide Wimpy here. Find out that they're in no mode and just start wiping them out.
SEJay almost forgetting the bomb as well. Came over to the pegs and then turned around, remembering, yeah, I gotta grab the bomb first.
And it looks like Yodonashi, similar to Penguin, a little bit short on pod money, does not seem to know about the rupee room here in Eastern Palace. He is farming enemies for rupees here. This is a bad feeling when you're short on something. You need arrows or bombs or rupees, and you're just in a location that you don't know where to find them.
At 1:16:16, SEJay has gotten into go mode. IrritablePenguin right behind him. They'll clear up Mire, do the GT, CT clear, and they're looking pretty good right now.
Yeah, and as expected, SEJay did not try to refill his bottle.
You're gonna have to have a little conversation with that man.
He spurns safeties like he's invincible. You gotta appreciate the energy that goes into it.
I mean, I try constantly to keep safeties, and he just skips them all. So it could be one of the many reasons why he's so good at farming.
It only saves time until you need the safeties. Alright, so Worldwide Wimpy will get his shot at Trinex here. Only a Master Sword, so he's likely going to use Hammer Strats here. And only single magic. Did not pick up the half magic. That's interesting that he skipped Lava Chest, which is an interesting call.
Yeah, that is interesting. When you're down to this, to only having a few things left to check, and just need a few things, like I don't think that's a good idea to skip that one. You know, a lot of the time you're not going to get rewarded for it. When is there ever something in Lava Chest? Until there is. So it looks like we are getting a Godmire at least. But definitely would have been rewarded with that half magic. So a little unfortunate.
Yeah, and with Silver Arrows, this is going to be a blink and you miss it Mire.
He's actually ended up using 2 different pots, because he's not worrying about, oh, he's got to worry about his magic right now, but hasn't really cared too much about using the hammer. That's the 3rd potion he's using. These are all the free potions that he got out of not Pyramid Fairy, the Waterfall Fairy.
Yeah, coming in clutch with those potions here. That Ice Head was dodging like Muhammad Ali.
Looks like both Penguin and SEJay both had a little mishap with Samaria there, getting rid of their spooky action state.
Yeah, certainly. I won't ask or harass them about that at all later.
No, that's so easy to do. It's, you know, it can be kind of fickle whether or not that's going to stick.
But with Silver Arrows, 0 cycle Vitreous from SEJay, rewarded with a small key and his 7th crystal.
Did you say 7th crystal?
I did.
McMonkey, you know what that means.
Is there a game afoot?
I believe there is. It's time to play the GT Big Key guessing game. Get your guesses in chat. There are 22 checks inside Ganon's tower that the big key can be. Let us know what it is. You'll win a lifetime supply of nothing if you get it correct. Unfortunately, Leoria was quick to steal number 14. Thank you. What do you normally pick?
Well, I go with either the 8 or 19 in my Twitch username. Those are my go-tos. So I went with 8 tonight. It feels like it's been a quick seed, so I'll pick the lower of the 2 numbers.
I had to hurry up and scan. What number hasn't been picked yet? So normally I go 14. This time I'm going 5.
Fair enough. And the guesses will end as soon as SEJay enters Ganon's tower, and we'll go based on his checks, even if Penguin manages to get into Ganon's tower before SEJay finds the big key.
Penguin actually still has Tower of Hera left.
Yeah, Tower of Hera should be about a 1-minute time sink with Herapot. I don't imagine it'll take much longer than that.
No, not at all. You have the opportunity as well to just let Penguin know where the big key is. And who knows, you might find another sword along the way or something. Not that it'll matter just too much. That, you know, it gets harped on a lot. The difference between gold sword and tempered sword, not that huge. Does cut down, you know, a decent amount of time on that Ganon fight though.
So we've got Worldwide Wimpy here, who took another dip into Turtle Rock. Looks like he skipped Big Chest and he skipped Mimic Cave as well as the Lava Chest. He's going back in. He picked up his half magic. Now he's checking Mimic Cave and Big Chest.
Let's see here. Number 1 is just a green rupee. So if I'm not mistaken, SEJay normally does Dark Magician.
That's right, particularly in a co-op. The first person in, he's very adamant that the first person will do Dark Magician strats to make sure that they can get to Compass Room for sure, check what's there.
I agree with that. Does get a key, so we're on 5 checks. 2 keys, no big key.
Penguin taking down Moldorm in 2
And
very easy swipes.
6 is the winner. 6. Let's see who our winner was. If somebody could hit the bot. Mr. Safeway, congratulations. Enjoy your lifetime supply of nothing. Penguin, though, does finish out Hera pretty quick. Going to be able to jump in, probably just run and grab the key out of the hammer room. Go grab the big key. Done and out.
Yeah, and that'll make up most of the time difference between SEJay and Penguin here.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, so red mail, tempered sword, silver arrows. They're feeling pretty good going through this Ganon's Tower climb. Not really looking for a whole lot else. Meanwhile, Wimpy's done with Turtle Rock. He's going over to check the dig spot. We'll see where he heads next while Yodonashi is finishing up Palace of Darkness.
Yeah, it looks like Wimpy's going to make that play over to grab Argus now.
Or perhaps following up the TR play with Pyramid Fairy, which would be good news.
Oh, he does have Pod. That is right.
Yeah, and that's what it looks like.
It was Swamp that was the other one. Yeah, so he's going to get the news that Go Mode is on the Pyramid Fairy.
Silver Arrow is making very quick work of Land Mode 2 there. Took 2 cycles for SEJay, but he got it done. We'll see if Penguin can better him.
You're the teammate. Who has the better Land Mode 2?
SEJay insists that he is terrible at anything to do with NMG, including GT climbs. So, yeah, based on his own self-evaluation, I guess I'll have to go with Penguin. So Yodonashi approaching the Helmasaur fight with 4 hearts. We might see another heart attack boss fight coming up here.
Penguin just getting dodged left and right there on the climb. Used most of his half magic there.
Let's see how Penguin does with the silvers here. It's going to be 2 cycles at least.
SEJay was at least able to get 2 on the first, so we'll say SEJay wins that one. Wimpy is going inside the pyramid right now. Gonna get Ether, and that is Go Mode at 126.30 for Worldwide Wimpy.
Yeah, meanwhile, Yodonashi in a pitched battle with Helmasaur. He's down to a single heart. He's got the mask off. He's going to switch to arrows to try to finish this fight off, but he's going to have to dodge the tail and some fireballs. And he gets it done.
Touching it out. Yeah, it doesn't have the silvers yet. It doesn't have that second sword. So do get onto Aga 2. Some alright patterns here.
Yeah, not too bad when they all line up like that.
That pattern
SEJay's
there, not so much. This one doesn't look pretty either. Yeah, it does manage to get the double there and knock it out. So just has GT1. I love Penguin's bonk there. Let's see if SEJay can get stuck in the air. There it is. Beautiful.
Yeah, you always got to rack up the bonk count. You never know when it's going to start counting for something. Meanwhile, Worldwide Wimpy taking that Ether Medallion, heading right over to Meyer, and we've got Yodonashi having gotten the news about Pyramid Fairy, heading up the Turtle Rock to start on the trail towards Go Mode. Should be a fairly straightforward Aga Tower here. Silver Arrows, Tempered Sword. It's going to be pretty easy.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the situation in all dungeons that I'd love to just spam the Fire Rod. It's a beautiful thing when everything just... You're going to get the refill at the very end, so just abuse it.
Yeah, and while we wait for our date with Ganon, if you're enjoying what you're seeing, give our runners a follow. You can see the links in chat from the command. And a big thanks to our crew for keeping things running here. Thank you, DJ, for joining me in the commentary booth. And thanks to our restreamer Math Girl and our 2 trackers, Dark Diplomat and Bandman.
Penguin getting done with his Aga 2 now. And his chance to climb the tower.
And increase his bonk count.
I mean, it's the best place to do it. Plus, I just love I love when Link is stuck in the bonk animation, just suspended in air. Yeah, I love the differences in styles here for the climb. SEJay using the silver arrows, Penguin is using the fire rod. Of course, it has the half magic, but I mean, you get refilled at the end anyways.
Yeah, it's the nice thing about in all dungeons where you do Aga Tower last, where you generally have a lot of options about how you're going to mow your way through the enemies in the tower.
A lot of times you have the red mail and a ton of hearts anyways, and if you wanted to, outside of, the ones you have to kill, you can probably just walk through everything anyways. So it looks like Blue Ball won there. I was looking over at Wimpy for a minute, so I'm not sure how many hits we've gotten so far.
I believe that was the first one.
So far, just one Blue Ball on Phase 1. Or, well, that's not Phase 1, but...
Cycle number 1.
Yeah, thank you. Stutter loves to come out when I'm doing comps. Yeah, so far, though, this has been a really nice Aga 2 fight. Yeah, just one Blue Ball is really nice there.
Worldwide Wimpy taking down Vidi using some cape strats there to dash through the smaller eyeballs. Taking down the big eye with some arrows. Pretty clean fight.
SEJay does drop down, gets into Phase 2. Doesn't get a good pattern right there, though. That is a little unfortunate.
Yeah, that can happen when Ganon throws his trident. The trident wants to follow you around, and based on where Ganon warps, if he happens to intersect with the trident that is spinning and trying to hit you at the right spot, he'll end up facing down like that, which is a bit of a glitched state. Doesn't really have any effect other than it's just a lot more annoying and hard to work with. But getting through phases 1 and 2 into phase 3 now.
Yeah, outside of that, it's been some decent RNG here with barely any movement from Ganon.
He's going for the torch glitch, even though he doesn't need it. Just 2 more arrows will take him down for SEJay. And that'll do it for SEJay. Get your GGs in chat for SEJay. Taking down Ganon at the 133 mark.
Got to do is to cross that bridge. We'll see what the official time is. And SEJay finishes with an official racetime.gg time of 1:33:12.
And as he's crossing the bridge, Penguin dropping down. He's about to start his Ganon fight. We'll see if he can get the 1-1 here. Oh, just missing it. A little bit of a hug there, breaking up the 1-1. But he's got his cape out. He's ready to go.
Yeah, you got the cape, you got the half magic. Makes this phase so simple. You're going to get all 10 hits in super quick. And still have plenty of magic. You can see plenty of magic left over for Torch Glitch. Heck, even if you miss it, you got the silver arrows. It's not too bad.
Yodonashi showing off a very rarely seen tile room in TR. And unfortunately taking a death to it.
I honestly didn't know about that tile room until the Go Mode Podcast Mentor Tournament admin bingo. That was one of the bingo choices, which you had to go into that room and do it.
Penguin getting his last silver arrow.
Last hit in. So once again, get those GGs in chat, or since it is the new Hyrule order, get those 2 sweets in chat for our winners, SEJay and IrritablePenguin. Penguin crosses the bridge with an official racetime.gg time of 1:34:44. They come out to an average time of 1:33:58.
Meanwhile, on the Land of the Blind side, we've got Turtle Rock and Ice Palace here, trying to finish up these dungeons. Wimpy taking on Cold Stare, making judicious use of the Fire Rod.
Yeah, it gets one down. These other two shouldn't be too far behind. There's one going down right there. And this last spin gets the double and pulls it out. Gets rewarded with some silvers. So it does look like on Yodonashi's side and Wimpy's side, with Yodonashi just standing there. Yeah, looking over at the racetime.gg room, looks like we do have a forfeit from Worldwide Wimpy and Yodonashi.
Yeah, with a couple dungeons left to go, and the race being over, not surprising. It makes sense. A well-run race. Things just didn't break their way today. But you give up on this one. You go back to the drawing board. You come back tomorrow and hope to take game 2.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll see if we'll get people in here for post-game here in just a bit.
Yeah, hopefully we can get them in here. It looks like we got them in the waiting room. We just need to wait until our restreamer can pull them down in here.
And there we go, getting everybody pulled down. GG, New Hyrule Order, and Land of the Blind.
GG's.
GG's.
Yeah.
Yeah, well played from both teams.
I hate thinking for 2 people. Because it's like, which way is the best way to send this person and this person? I hate doing it. It's like, oh, if I got the seat by myself, I'd be going so more faster.
We've been doing, Penguin and Monkey and I, we've been doing a lot of practice these last weeks, to get that communication down. We felt, pretty happy that basically full cleared. Like, I don't think there was any check left for Penguin and I that we didn't look at. So we were really happy with this run. Early, we both felt really bad because of our early deaths, but we cleaned it up late, and I'm happy with it.
Yeah, Yodo and I have not been able to play any seeds together because Ben just ate Yodonashi's time whenever we co-opted, and I would get someone who's done 2 seeds. So I am significantly used to going, okay, go do this, go do this, go do this. So
yeah, it's actually kind of ironic with the way that we've set up this week with our co-op seeds that I have Ben and I have literally only co-op together. Ben has co-op with Wimpy, I think, once. Other than that, it's been Ben and I, and yet the way we scheduled it was Wimpy and I, Ben and Wimpy. So it's like
that's because Ben wanted to do the ladder seed, so the jerk.
I mean,
at the end of the day, though, like I take full responsibility for this loss here because that was probably the worst performance of a run I have ever done. I don't know what was getting into me, but like I'd be walking, then realize, what the heck am I doing? I'm walking the wrong direction. Turn around, go back. I'm doing the Lamellus fight, and I remember halfway through that, oh wait, I just got a sword in my last check.
Yeah, this seed was super low percent, and I even had a couple times like where it got to me. I know at the end when we had we were going to Pyramid Ferry, I just saved and quit and ran right over like halfway to the pegs over there without the bomb. It was like, it's just one of those seeds that seemed to like melt your brain a little bit as you played through it. So I could totally understand that.
Yeah.
Well, no, it was Yodonashi had all of the progress. I only found mirror and hookshot. Yodonashi found everything else because I was sending him to the easy checks that I would do first in my brain. Because he's not as experienced as I am, so I'm like, okay, we'll go send you to do the easier stuff. I'll go Darkroom Pod, I'll go without a sword, I'll go do this, I'll go Hammer Strats Blind, I'll go to Skullwoods, and all of the stuff was in front of him, so that means I'm playing behind because the checks that I would normally do in a specific order, I'm sending off to somebody else. So it's like if I get Book and Glove and Bow and Flips at that point, it's like, okay, well, I'm boom, 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 and this seed I'm done with, if I'm soloing, probably in an hour 45, you know?
Yeah, I said it in another Discord channel that this is easily an hour 30 to hour 45 seed somewhere in there, and it just comes down to I did not perform well at all, which held Wimpy back because, you know, he got leaps and bounds ahead of me, and meanwhile I'm finding the progress, which is making us move much more slowly. That's not my best run.
Well, execution-wise, it was a tough seed all around. I think there were 8 total blind fights amongst the 4 runners.
Yeah, the stupid blind.
You guys won 4 of them, so blind got an edge today for sure.
He got me twice when I had one more hammer smack against him, and I was dodging fine, and then just stupid head in the way.
My first blind fight, I sat there and thought to myself for a second, I was like, do I want to just take a quick run and grab a couple hearts from pots or whatever? And I was like, I got Red Mill and Mirror Shield. We should be fine, and I was not fine.
So one of the things that actually opened it up a little bit early for New Hero Order was those super, super early boots.
Now, the funniest thing about that is the only reason I went to the boots is because I got hit on my way to the dam.
Okay, so you guys went left instead of going to Sasha?
Yeah, so Penguin was afraid of dying, and so went over to Agina to find those boots. Which, honestly, we've been just... The other day, Penguin had a seed where his cat was walking across his keyboard, and he accidentally went to Agina, and it paid off. Like, maybe we're just going to start to go to Agina more often.
Absolutely.
A fake flipper early would have broken the seed open with that bow there. You could have done pod and Eastern together early.
We
did that.
Sword.
Yeah, we did that. And funny enough, Penguin goes up there and sees the mitts and is like, dang it, the mitts are on the ledge. I was like, you don't know how to do the splash delete up there? And he goes, no. So mid race, while I was doing whatever I was doing, I was telling Penguin how to set up and do that splash delete over on that side, and he got it first try, so that was really good.
Yeah, if I would have had Moon Pearl going right side, if it was an Ice Rod Cave, yeah, I would have gone and done fake flippers. But at that point, there's really no point for me doing fake flippers, and it's like, well, it's all dungeons. We're going to have to do all dungeons anyway. We can check that as the last location once we find flippers, because then it's at that point, we're bing, 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 bing as quickly as we can. So a fake flipper, 1, gets you the information, and 2, gets you a sword upgrade, gets you a whole bunch of stuff. So,
yeah, ironically, the sequence breaking flipper checks got New Hyrule Order a big lead early, but the sequence-breaking Old Man got you guys the Red Cane very early, and New Hyrule Order saved that for nearly last. This could have been a super jet seed had they just checked the Old Man when first going up the mountain.
We didn't have sword, and I was scared. I was scared to go there with the sword. And then I had lamp, and I just forgot the rest of the season.
I only decided to do that because one of the things I practice the most with my running is dark rooms. I really enjoy doing dark rooms because apparently I'm sadistic or masochistic or whatever it may be. And I like to just fumble around in the dark. So I was like, you know what? I'm going up the mountain anyway because it's where Wimpy suggested is to go do Hera. Makes sense. Having that save and quit point is also super helpful. I'm just going to quickly dark room this and get the Old Man. And then he hands me a red can. I was like, wow, that worked out.
It just sucks that Meyer was the last medallion to find, which was locked behind Turtle Rock. So that red cane literally only helped you with Icebreaker once you were in go mode. That was it. And then anything that you would do in Swamp in go mode. So that red cane.
There's a couple times there where it's like, Wimpy would hit his go mode and he was going through and whatnot, and then we find out that we have to have Ether to get into Meyer, and he starts clearing through his Turtle Rock. He says, I'm just gonna go straight to Trinex. I'm not gonna check Laser Bridge because I got all stuff to go there. And I was like, well, what if Ether's on there? And he's like, dang it, I gotta go check those now. And then sure enough.
Yeah, then I had to go back in because I purposely skipped Big Key Chest and Mimic Cave. I'm like, I'm looking for one item. If it's anywhere here that's nice, it's going to be on Laser Bridge or Trinex. And it was half magic and some roots. I'm like, okay. And then Shovel and Spike Cave. I'm like, okay, I'm just destined not to find any progress in this until the very end.
Right towards the end there, when I was in Turtle Rock, Wimpy said something to the effect of like he's gonna start dipping pendants, and I was like, well, I mean, it's all dungeons anyway. And he's like, it's all dungeons. You're right.
But I'd still rather put off, especially with where flips were and 2 pendants, flips locked, and the front of Skullwoods had nothing. It was literally put those off until last kind of deal. Because if flippers were in GT. You're going to GT first. You're doing all the crystals first anyway. So
that probably helped us with not having Kane to be able to do that.
Yeah, unfortunately, we just didn't want to go up to the mountain again. We were being super greedy about it. We were saying like we're gonna find Ether and Kane somewhere. Like if we can avoid the mountain again, then we save time doing that. And unfortunately, that just left it to where we didn't check Old Man till, we basically had done everything else.
Yeah. Also, Vortex brings up a good point that the flippers couldn't have been in GT because the mints were flipper locked.
Yeah, that whole seed, the logic to follow it was a little confusing. I'm just happy that we found most of the things. Unfortunately, not the red cane, but...
Yeah. I'm also going to cheap out a bit and blame a little bit of my execution on the fact that I'm using a really bad controller because my controller I used for last season crapped out like a couple weeks before the season was announced, and I ordered a new one. It was supposed to arrive today, but when I went to pick it up from the mailroom at my apartment complex, it wasn't there. So I'm using a crappy USB GameCube controller.
I have one of those.
I'd feel bad, but I'm on a 7-year-old PlayStation 4 controller, so...
Fair enough.
But GG's. That was fun.
Yep.
That was indeed a good shot.
Everybody.
Yeah, GG's to all our runners. Make sure to give our runners a follow, Irritable Penguin and SEJay, as well as Worldwide Wimpy and Yodonashi. And we do got the schedule up on screen right now. Don't forget to check out some of the great games we got coming up tomorrow. Not sure on the Open League what's going to be restreamed just yet, but you can see some of the streams. You can see who's going to be playing them. There's going to be some definitely awesome games. I'm looking forward to Tony Hawk's Pro Smith Chain versus Rando Digging Gamers, just because I love the name Tony Hawk's Pro Smith Chain. Over on the Invitational League tomorrow, we got 3 matches. The first one at 3:10 Eastern as Double Dippers take on Skatool's Digging Game, followed by Team Kappa and Spherefinity. And finishing out the night, we got actually 4 games tomorrow. Wow. Tile Roomies versus Waffle House Drive-Thru and Never Do Chickens versus Team Jaime. So a lot of great games coming up tomorrow. You can see on the schedule. So make sure to check those out. Hey, don't forget as well, follow the great crew that we got here tonight. Thank you to McMonkey for doing comms with me, Dark Diplomat and Bandman25 doing the clicky. helping us keep track of everything, and Math Girl for doing the restreaming. So, any final thoughts on this, McMonkey?
No, looking forward to seeing Game 2 between these two teams tomorrow. Looking forward to participate in Game 2. But this was a fun one to watch, and thank you for doing comms with me. Thank you to the whole crew.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Thanks everyone hanging out and watching. We'll see you again for another night of Link to the Past Randomizer League. See you guys soon.